What's up, guys? It's Johnny God back again with another video for you guys. And oh my god, let me just say, I really love you guys. You've been showing so much support with these videos I've been making on these chapter reviews, getting so many subscribers, more than I thought I would so quickly. You've been liking my videos, you've been getting my views up. So let me just say thank you for that. So let's just get right into this chapter 29 of Eden Zero. And let me just say, the fan service. You know what? I think this should be a long thing with this channel when we talking about Eden Zero. Let's just talk about the fan service first. Let's just get that out the way. First of all, like, we have like 6 whole pages of just fan service. Like, oh my god, like, we have Rebecca and Homura, whatever, if that's how you pronounce her name, just taking a bath. You just see titties and ass everywhere. It's just like, this is one of the best things about this series is definitely the fan service. And let me just talk about one thing real quick. Like, the girl Homura with the fucking sword, the sword ether, she straight up got her pussy eaten. I know she got her pussy eaten. Like, no. Like, I'm gonna put up this chapter. I'm gonna put up a page from this chapter. The robot was like, you can take a torture massage or pleasure massage. And the girl with the sword ether, she's like, the pleasure massage, that sounds interesting. And the fucking robot, you can see her, there's a panel where her smiling, and then Homura, you see her looking down. And she's like, you see her looking down, it's like, she's clearly getting her pussy eaten right here. I'm like, yo, like, what's going on? What this robot straight up eat her pussy, like, what the fuck? But you know what, mostly this chapter, we didn't really get a lot of information with the chapter. It's a pretty slow chapter. I mean, half the chapter was just straight up fan service. Let's just be honest. I'm not complaining, but there's just not a lot to talk about when it comes to moving the plot forward. But what I do want to talk about is the little a bit of information that we did get is that we got introduced to these warriors. I'm not even going to try to pronounce their names. I'm just going to have panels with their names up because they're kind of hard to pronounce. But it's these 12 warriors that used to defend the Sakura Cosmos from enemies, I suppose. They're called the Heavenly Knights of the Dancing Sakuras, the Guardians of the Blue Garden. So, yeah, these seem to be some cool guys. At the end of this chapter, we got introduced to this new girl. We will see some more about her next chapter. But, there's actually a real problem I want to talk about with Eden Zero. Anyone who hasn't watched my video I made a video talking about is Eden Zero's good, and in that video I basically say it is good. I enjoy it. I was not a fan of Fairy Tail, but this is a new series. I'm giving Hiro Moshima a chance. Fairy Tail for me was not so good, but I knew Fairy Tail had potential, and reading into this manga I knew Eden Zero had potential. But my problem with Eden Zero so far is the pacing is very slow. And let's just be honest, guys, everyone that's watching Eden Zeros knows that when it comes to storytelling and the plot, it's not really that deep. When we talk about plot, and if it's deep, we're talking about, like, for example, Death Note. Everybody knows that Death Note is a very complex and deep story. Let's talk about another example. You got My Hero Academia. You got deep ass characters like Stain and Endeavor that that really, you can sit and really analyze these characters for a long time. Eden Zero doesn't have those type of qualities, but that's fine. Manga like Black Clover is not really that deep and complex either. But the thing is, Black Clover knows that, and that's why you have so much action. You don't have a lot of story and character development, and the plot's not so good. But the author knows that and counteracts that by having a lot of action that keeps you entertained. So even though it's a trade off. You take the plot for the action, and Eden Zero needs to take a step. Needs to look at Black Clover and. It needs to get the pacing up. You're not reading You're not reading Eden Zero for the complexity of the story. You're reading Eden Zero for some action, and that's what I'm craving lately. I'm craving some action. It has been pretty slow, and honestly, there has not been any good fights in Eden Zero. Like, it's hard for me to say that, but I've not been entertained by the fights in Eden Zero. The abilities of Ether has been pretty basic, nothing really complex from the abilities, and I'm just I'm not saying I'm not enjoying Eden Zero. I'm not saying that. I do like it. I do think it has potential. I'm enjoying the ride, but I just feel like it's really slow for Shonen right now. If you compare Eden Zero with Black Clover, the first 29 the first 29 chapters of Black Clover, there is a lot of action, guys. Like I just checked that right now, and in chapter 29 of Black Clover, they're getting invaded by the Diamond Kingdom, and it's a lot of action going on in Black Clover by chapter 29. It's just, you look at Eden Zero, it's been slow as hell compared to that. So also I forgot to mention that Rebecca seems to be, there's a scene where Rebecca, and she's like, and Homura is like, oh, do you have ether gear? And Rebecca is like, no, I don't have ether gear. But you can clearly see the fucking ether gear manifesting. I don't really get that. I don't really get that scene, because you can clearly see that she does in fact have ether gear. You can see the writing on her body. I mean, I suppose Rebecca, I suppose she said no because she doesn't know how to manifest it properly. But we've seen before that she did manifest ether gear, and she did shoot lasers from her hands at one point. The funny thing about it is, they were joking in this chapter. They were saying that, oh, being in this bath is training. And I take it was supposed to be a joke, but I take that seriously, because if you look at it, the first time that Rebecca manifested her ether gear was in the bath. So, I don't know, maybe that bath has some type of special properties that brings out the potential of ether gear, possibly. I'm not too sure. We have to see. I mean, I'm confused with that scene, because you can clearly see she has ether gear, so I don't know why she's saying she does it. But I'm gonna leave it at that for this chapter review. Definitely gonna be back next week. I'm definitely hoping the pacing really picks up. I hope we get some more action. I hope we get some better battles. But that will be it. Johnny God out.